Smoke a purse so sweet with HighThoughtsTV.
Y'all know what the fuck we doing, man. It's HighThoughtsTV. Niggas hot in the bitch, man.
I'm smoking a purse so sweet with HighThoughtsTV.
So, question. Just because I know it's like, I've even been to a few shows. Is there a deeper meaning behind the black glasses?
Oh man, you know what? Shout out back in the 90s. We was real big NWA fans, man. When that whole NWA Compton movement came out, and on the West Coast they would wear these LOCS.
Yeah.
These the LOCS. So it was a flea market in the hood of South Park called a trading fair back in the days, and they used to sell these. These just cost $2. For a pair of these LOCS. It's like, man, it's them LOCS, man. And me and Murder One, we just go buy these Dopey, and because I always liked the look of them, and we spent $2 a piece on a load up of about 5 pairs of them. And then after a while, you just didn't see them no more. Nobody had them no more. And if they did have them, they didn't look like this. This part here was too wide, and I ain't like it. It looked like some space glasses. This part here didn't go straight across. It had a little dip in it, and I didn't like it. So I ain't wear LOCS for years until I came across this spot in San Antonio, the flea market in San Antonio, man. And they sell them. They carry them just like this. Of course, inflation is different now. Now they cost $8 for a pair of these instead of 2. But anytime I would do a show in San Antonio, man, me and Murder, we always would go just buy a bunch of pairs of them. So after a while for me, because I still wear them, it just became part of my look. It's my identity now. You could put me, somebody could make a silhouette of me and have this, they gonna know it's me. So it's more like a trademark now, but I like to wear them, when I perform, and like even now, I'm just running around in the city and I just keep them on my head.
Yeah, no, I definitely feel like it's definitely part of the aesthetic that just come behind it. So that's what's up. Talk about how, like as you mentioned earlier, like networking, people reaching out, which is completely polar opposite then from how it is now. There wasn't no Instagram, etc. So how were you expanding and networking out at that time?
Hitting the road. It's funny, hitting the road and getting on the phone, because in 1993, we had a label. We had our label set up. We had a label called Electric City Records, and my dad was the head of at that time. Because at that time, from 93 to 86, when I first started recording, you talk about a 7-year span now. So that's almost a decade where we had really honed our skills and our understanding of the game a little bit more. So now we got a label set up. At this time, you got all these other independent. You got Rap-A-Lot, who was the first. Now you got Big Time Records, you got Beatbox Records, you got all these different labels that's putting out independent artists in the city that's doing their thing. Perion with ESG and all that. So the game was set up to where we taking it seriously now. This like a business, man. So we saw the guerrilla tactics that was used in terms, like the footwork to use to get out and promote your own record, like hitting the streets, putting posters on telephone poles, printing up flyers and going to clubs and putting them on people's cars and all that. That's the era we come from. Getting out on the road, going to different record stores in different regions, shaking hands with the record store managers and the retailers, and putting up poster displays on their walls and giving away in-store copies to play, and here's my card, here's my number, call if you want to order some product. But that's what we used to do, and that would gradually build into, okay, yeah, man, it's a record store in Tennessee called, they need 5 copies. So 5 ain't a lot, but it is a lot when you getting it from the mud. Like, okay, let's let that 5 turn to 10. If we move them, we gonna push it. So that's how it was. This pre-social media, ain't no Instagram or nothing to get on and blast it in front. Wasn't none of that, and it worked, because it's crazy, because I know the climate was different in terms of selling records, as it is now, but it just seemed like the independents on some level sold a lot more back then doing it that way than they do even now with social media, But maybe that's just me.